Okay, this is titled, Who Do You Think You Are? Who do you think you are, to be happy or get your goals accomplished or get what you really need and want from people that you invest in? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? This is a very important question. Who do you think you are? Because your ability to change will depend on it. Okay. The way to go from where you're at now to where you want to be is going to require change, an open mind, acceptance, being willing to try something new, and you will change. Just in the act of trying something new is actually a change. Change and growth is our natural state, so we want to support that. So you might be, okay, fine, I want to change, but how can I change? I mean, every time I attempt to change or improve or do something good, I get a little voice in the back of my head that says, who the heck do you think you are? Like, you don't deserve that. You can't have it. You'll get in trouble. It won't work. It's scary. It's dangerous. It's not safe. In that case, and in other cases I'll get to in a minute, like resistance to change and things. If that's the case, where there is fear coming up about change that's positive and good for you that you want, then guess what? That's the very first thing we work on clearing up. These tools and techniques and strategies work, and they work especially well for our fear and resistance to change and to do positive things. See, we were kind of programmed that it would offend someone else if we took care of ourselves. And that is ludicrous. We know that. As grown rational adults, we know that. But the inner feeling is holding us back, inhibiting us, holding us down like a foot on your neck on the cement ground. And we're sick of that. So who do you think you are? So who are you? You are a human being, therefore you are capable of change. And you are free, therefore you're free to choose what you want. Now anything that comes up in the way of that, guess what? That's the block. Remember I said identify your vision, then identify the blocks, and then we clear the blocks. We master your psychology around these kind of blocks. That's the beauty. That's why it's so golden to have these techniques, because I can do that today in a matter of seconds, sometimes a few minutes. But, you get really good at using these on automatic. You can use them so quickly. Riding my bike, driving my car out in a grocery store, I get a little ping, a little zinger, a little intense charge. Somebody looked at me funny, maybe. Some kind of fear came up, some kind of limiting belief or doubt, some just gray cloud. Maybe it's not a zinger, but more of a cloud that starts to settle. I can attune to that right then and there. I'm so used to identifying. It's like I've programmed myself, and I can do it for you and show you how to do this. I program myself that when I have negative triggers, they automatically get my attention and trigger me to do the technique to collapse it, clear it, release it, eliminate it. And I always end with, accessing my resources. Maybe I just turn it over to my resourceful creative mind and say, hey, you handle it. I'm too busy right now. Or maybe I have time and I really sit with it for a minute or two and I really tune into the courageous, compassion, resourceful, creative, my natural state. Your natural state is creative. So you can't think your way out of the problem, but you can think very creatively about your beliefs, like who do you think you are? And you can radically change and transform them. Transform them is a new word. Change and transform. You know, radically, profoundly, effortlessly, seamlessly, what's the word, elegantly, what's the word when, without a huge emotional charge or catharsis, there's no downside. There's no downside. There's no hangover. There's no blowback. There's no bounce back. There's no more recycling. A similar issue might come up, or you might be sort of chunking away at some of the bigger ones or something. But in general, I've never had to do the same technique over and over for one thing. I usually clear the thing, it's cleared. Maybe another aspect comes up, it's cleared. If I hit resistance, that's back to the topic of this call. You can use these tools to clear resistance and fear of change. Because let me tell you what, change is exciting and it's scary. It's a roller coaster ride. It's adrenaline. It's fear and adrenaline are the same thing. You can be on a roller coaster ride. So change has its ups and downs, the feeling, the body sensation, thoughts come up, triggers come up or whatever. But change is still good. Can we agree? Change is good. Growth is good. It's natural to change. But you have to feel safe to be able to even attempt to look at or take a first step into change, because it's scary and feels dangerous. and does have an element of risk to it, I suppose, to be fair. I mean, any change. You can take a risk, walking outside your door and getting hit by a car. I don't know. But so the point is, you have to feel safe to be able to change. So that's where the emotional regulation techniques, the tapping, and really feeling, you're really soothing the fears and stresses. You're telling the amygdala in your brain, okay, you can shut off the stress response. You don't have to be stuck in a stress response anymore. Calm that down, turn it off, turn that switch off, kind of restore yourself to a balance. And come back to feeling, I'm safe enough, I'm at peace right now, I'm at compassion with myself, acceptance, more of a general sense of neutral well-being, and, and or a state of more excited, like creative and resourceful well-being, either one. You could be totally calm and do this, you could get kind of amped up and excited, and want to yeah, let's do this, power. Sometimes I like to be really mellow and calm about it. It's more of a Zen thing for me. Now you can look at changing. Now we can start looking at changing and what you want to change and all the obstacles, and be able to talk and think very clearly about it, because you're safe now. You got the fear out of the way. And we can still continue to use techniques for any blocks or resistance or fear that comes up. So I just wanted to, talk about that I get it. I had it for years, that feeling of who do you think you are. It held me back. It so held me back. I mean, I just so wasted so much because I felt like I wasn't allowed to get out of the gate to win any kind of race. I felt so behind. And it was all in my mind. It was a little voice that had a belief that I didn't deserve it somehow. Right? I mean, we know what these issues are, but we just, we go around in loops on them and don't know what to actually do about them, or we try to force them with positive affirmations, or we try to, force our way to change. Change is so unconscious. There's such a huge, the iceberg, the bulk of it is unconscious. That's why it's so hard to think our way out or force our way out with just will alone. So these tools do help you work with your unconscious in a really cool, powerful way, wide awake, very actively. You're in an active mental state. There's no, trancing out or going into visualization and stuff like that. No hypnosis, no therapy, no voodoo, no metaphysical type stuff. It's all very, neuroscience and maybe some on the energy stuff, but I don't even well, I really let me back up on that. What do I want to say? I think it's important to use both, mind, mental, neuro techniques and body techniques for sure. I mean, we want to do our tapping on our body or somatic releasing, yoga, movement, dancing, riding our bike, walking. We live in our body, we take it with us, and it's the thing that acts out all our actions and our goals. So yes, we want to do both, but I'm just happen to have been talking about a more mental one, that mental one of who do you think you are. So who do you think you are? Who would you like to think you are? Give it a think, and I'll see you the next time. Take good care.